Ian,
You ready?
4 o'clock, kick things off.
Okay, folks, 4 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's 6 p.m. in New York. It's after that in Europe. It's before that in Asia. And I got to tell you, folks, we are broadcasting live from Mile High in Boulder, Colorado, United States of America. And my fellow co-host here is Dr. Frankie Hahn, of course, the inventor of IFCO television. We're happy to have you folks joining with us live here. Please, if you're on the social media, spread the word, IFCO.TV. Anyone can get on. There's no charge for this, and we will be broadcasting live for the next 2 hours. There's also no special software programming that is required.
There's no charge for this?
No charge.
Really?
And no special software required. Okay? So the guests that we have with us today are actually the founders of the Mile High Movement, which you like to say, Dr. Danny Knowles.
I do.
We have, of course, they're both doctors, Dr. Danny Knowles and Dr. Richelle Knowles.
Hi,
and they have a wonderful practice here in Boulder, Colorado, and they wanted to get involved, and of course I'm going to let you tell the story, but they wanted to get involved with changing the landscape of chiropractic, bringing it back over to TIC, Teaching Innate Chiropractic, and so they started a movement called the Mile High Movement, and they invited us to broadcast here live at IFCO Television, and so welcome to the program. It's good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
If you would start maybe with Richelle, would you say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ladies first.
All right.
Richelle, would you talk to us a little bit about the Mile High Movement? What was it that and by the way, you both can answer too.
Right.
What was it that kind of got this thing going, and why did you start a seminar? Because by the way, I know your lives.
Right.
You have plenty to do, so it wasn't because you were just sitting around going, "I'm so bored." You know what I need to do? Start a chiropractic
Why don't we
movement.
just plan a wedding every year?
Right.
For the rest of our lives?
That's what it's like, yeah.
So when you first get out of practice, you get busy, and we were involved in an organization that Danny and a couple of his friends started, which was the Colorado Chiropractic Wellness Alliance. And they did philosophy nights and had speakers come in, and it was really a great organization. And then we had kids, and we got busy, and everybody was our peers were the same age range. And so they had kids and got busy, and it ended up merging with another organization. But what happened is that we started to see that the pulse of chiropractic in and around this area was moving more towards medicine. And we wanted chiropractic to be chiropractic. And so this is the reason why we started Mile High. So we are very busy in private practice and teaching and traveling and stuff like that, and raising our 2 children. But we felt like there was a bigger calling for us, and we wanted to make a difference and see that the principles that chiropractic was founded upon, that people had the right to be able to practice chiropractic in that way. So,
Danny, every year I've come here, I've seen more and more people. It's grown each year. Why do you think somebody that's watching the program now should be here?
That's a really good question. And before I answer that, I do want to ask you something. Are there any cannolis?
This year there are no cannolis. The Coyotes got them.
It's been quite a different interview. I think the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is still hunting you down for your last cannoli performance.
Was there a cannoli ban now?
That's right.
But we brought plenty of peaches from the farm.
That's right.
Yeah.
great.
Well,
Prescott
so instead
peaches.
of cannolis, we have peaches.
Yes, absolutely.
I can do that. And they're probably non-GMO.
Yes, they are.
good.
What are they?
Good.
Palladium? They call them Palisades peaches.
Oh, well,
Palisades
those are,
peaches.
They're the best.
those are good.
It's
They were
almost
very
like a
good.
Georgia peach.
They
It
were
might
so
even be
sweet
better.
tasting.
All right.
Oh, and so here's what I'd like to say about that. And I want to acknowledge IFCO-TV because I feel like Mile High and IFCO-TV is very connected because they were born at the same time. In fact, I'm really honored to have been the first official guest
Absolutely.
on IFCO-TV. And on that, I was talking about the launch of Mile High.
Yeah.
And I think both the IFCO and myself saw at this time that there was a very much a need for a movement, a revitalization, a revolution within chiropractic to steer the ship towards the direction that was closer to the heart and soul of what it is that we do. And we were seeing that, as my lovely wife said so well, we were seeing that chiropractic was shifting so much towards medicine and so much away from the values of what it is that we do, that it was just getting under our skin. And we said, we can't let this happen. There's a place where you think in your mind, you've got to leave chiropractic better than you found it. And it was not going in a direction of being better than we found. It was going far worse. And like I've heard you say at times, Dr. Schubel, that like being able to do supplements or do things is not like under attack. Like there's no
That's
threat
right.
of losing that.
Of course not.
But there's or exercise or all these other things that chiropractors may choose to do if that was their thing. But there really is a big threat of losing the ability to locate, analyze, and correct subluxations, to work on people with our hands so they can have greater expression of innate, just because that in and of itself is a detriment to their health. There's a threat to that. And without that, we're nothing. We're just any other healing discipline. I mean, we're not that different from physical therapists without that principle and what it is that we do.
What keeps us significant.
And separate and distinct. And that is something that we have to all, as a profession, make a concerted effort that's uplifted, focused on, protected, defended, and something that we can do. Otherwise, we will completely lose our identity. And so I wanted Mile High to be a movement within our region of the country to express that.
And congratulations, too, for just being so successful on putting this all together. I know it's not easy. I'm from the New Jersey, the Garden State Chiropractic Society. We put on an annual event each year, and we have a whole team that puts it on, too. Maybe you can give a shout-out to the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mile High team?
Yes,
my
the Mile High team.
goodness.
Well,
We're so blessed.
first of all, between myself and Richelle, I mean, there's a lot of hours. Our kids even get in on the act. You'll see my daughter Annika there
She's
out
been
doing
here since 7
registration.
a.m.
Oh, wow.
Danny's programming things for us. Danny, our son, part of the team, like this is a family thing. He drove around, I want people to know this, to 160 chiropractic offices and hand-delivered flyers.
Wow.
I'm coaching him, by the way.
Yeah.
And just said, I want to invite you to this event.
That's
and
outstanding.
he just Googled chiropractors Boulder and found them and did that.
Wow.
Our office team, I mean, we have a exciting, busy office, and then in between all the things we do taking care of people, our office coordinator Julie Wood, our associate Dehan Couture and Ashley Hooper, and Cara, our front desk, all of our team is doing this. Our one of our assistants, who's been our marketing coordinator for us, went around and got all kinds of, you don't even know this, food donated from local companies that were to
I saw the
snack.
nut butter.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that so local
Chocolate.
businesses
Oh, okay.
were
I'm in that line.
are contributing to this, to have snacks provided for
Right.
people.
Wow.
I mean, so it's great to have all the effort together as a team.
And it is about team. I once heard a chiropractor say, I don't work well with others. and I said, well, then plan on being minuscule in your impact on the planet, because in order to expand your vision, in order to make a movement that's going to lead to significant change, you need to be able to work well with others. And,
True.
Right.
and certainly we see that here. We see that in the IFCO. And Danny, and Richelle, as we travel around, and Dr. Frankie Hahn and I had the chance to be in Durango and speak to the Durango Chiropractic Association. Stephanie Harris brought us down there. Trapper
Love
Nickum
Stephanie
and
Harris.
Bethany Nickum also set us up down there.
Wonderful
And we had a wonderful time. We saw Jane Bernier
Bernier.
was out there.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, as we speak around the world, we find chiropractors that really want to make a bigger difference and really want to make a bigger impact and really want to have a more abundant life in a practice, but they don't necessarily have the tools. And that's one of the things that they seem to be coming to Mile High in order to get. And that's one of the things I think that makes your seminar unique, is that you provide not only the excitement, of course, of being together in a camaraderie type event,
Right.
but also the real world tools and strategies that people can use to go out then and create more abundance in their practice and more impact in their community. Could you share with us maybe some of the highlights of what's going to be happening this weekend at Mile High? Because there's some really exciting things going
Well,
on.
I'll share a couple, and then you can share a
Sure.
couple. So first of all, our focus is three things: philosophy, vision, and strategies. Philosophy, vision, and strategy. Because when it comes down to it, to be successful as a chiropractor, you have to deepen your philosophical understanding, because that gives you certainty. If you don't have a deep enough philosophical understanding of what and why and how, then you're really going to struggle in practice. And you see that philosophy is foundation. And that is a resource is of great value. And so we have a lot of that in the program. So like we have a philosophy panel. Simon Senzon is doing an amazing philosophy panel. And so that's not philosophy rah-rah like, oh, it's motivation.
No.
It's just like understand the roots of what we do. And then in addition to that, Joel Kinch is doing a Green Book philosophy discussion.
Because if you understand the roots of what we do, you are better able to communicate it with a
Right.
greater level of certainty, and that generally creates a greater impact in the community and more abundance to your bottom line. Is that what you're saying?
And
Right.
people being able to stay in care.
Right.
I mean, if you don't
Right.
understand, if they don't know the
Right.
why of their coming in,
That's right.
they're not going to maintain as a practice member.
Right.
And then the second thing is vision, because, and I really had this woken up in myself from you, I will say, because I've heard that the bigger the vision,
The bigger the life.
but the reality is that most chiropractors don't have a big enough vision.
That's true.
And so they have to expand their vision for, yes, their office to have more impact beyond their four walls, but also their life beyond their four walls
Right.
and their community. Because if we're going to move chiropractic forward, we have to expand their vision to make a difference in the world. And then and there's some great people sharing about vision, yourself being one of them.
Oh,
Sure.
thank you.
Right, and several others. But then business strategies, you have to have strategies of communication,
Sure.
of marketing,
Yes.
of technique. So one of the things that we did this year, and this is a first, in most of the programs that you'll put as the same genre as our program, and I don't think there's any program like Mile High, but one of the things that they never do is we have these breakout sessions. So we have
Yeah.
CA training sessions. We have a 2-hour CA training session from Jane Bernier. But we
Oh,
also,
really?
yeah,
Wow,
Jane
that's
Bernier is going to
fantastic.
do
Wow.
2 hours. I mean, she's a rock star.
Oh,
This area.
total
She's-
rock star.
You know, if somebody knows CA training,
She
Jane
knows
Bernier,
it
right?
inside out.
And then the next thing is we have breakout sessions with Michael Viscarelli, Dr. Michael
Wow.
Viscarelli, on not getting new patients,
Yeah.
but retaining them.
Wow.
Because
Go.
he, it's not how many you get in, but
Right.
how many do you keep.
Right, it's not
So-
churn and burn.
Right,
You know,
You've-
it's
right.
making
Because
impact.
we're not
for the long
changing the
term.
world if they're in there for 5
That's
visits,
right.
right?
Very good.
So that,
And he's
then-
killing it with that AMP program. I got to tell
Right.
you, that's excellent. Excellent. Wow.
And
okay.
he's making a huge
Yeah.
impact, and
Right.
he's helping a lot of chiropractors be a lot more successful and correct more subluxations than would have been corrected if he
Right.
wasn't doing what he was doing. Then on top of that, we're having Dr. Sean Dill is doing a program
yeah?
on focusing on your target market, because as he says, you don't just want to find people that have an atlas and a pulse, right?
Yeah,
You want-
Yeah.
People that
Though,
want what
but
you-
people that are your target market for your care. So he's doing a program on that, and so that's business strategies.
And that's brilliant, by the way. That Black Diamond program that he's got going on is
Right.
exploding. I mean, so a lot of people are considering him one of the premier marketing experts as it applies to chiropractic right now, and they're
Right.
really jumping aboard. And you have him in a special breakout session.
Right, so it's not
Wow.
on stage, but you can get 90 minutes with him and going
Wow.
over this topic. So
Huge.
it's not just a small, 20-minute talk or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
And then in addition to that, at the other breakout session, we're having the chiropractic mastery from. I do not feel personally there's anybody that's more of a chiropractic technique master across the board than Donald Epstein.
Oh,
I mean, Donnie
that's-
Epstein,
can't argue that.
there's no one with their hands as good
Yeah.
as Donald.
Yep.
And so he's doing a 90-minute, and it'll probably end up being 2 hours because I know him, program that is not a network spinal
Right.
analysis program. It's a program how to have mastery with your
Right.
hands in the art of chiropractic.
Brilliant.
And it is,
It's
there's
wonderful.
no one that knows that like
No.
him. And
Right.
so this is help. You've got to be good with your hands to be a great chiropractor.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Imagine.
And you're going to get a special treat this weekend too, because Donnie's going to be speaking, and we're going to live stream one of his presentations
Wow.
on Saturday afternoon at 4
That's
p.m.
great.
Right. So that'll be great.
We
So what
have
else?
something really special that we were actually just looking over before we came in. Talk about making an impact in the world. We have a lot of friends right now that are actually Colorado docs too, that are down in Rio for the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually
I didn't
taking
know that.
care of a lot of different, like the judo team and Olympians and things
wow,
like
that's
that.
impressive.
And so they
Some of
sent
our speakers
some
from
of our
past
speakers
years.
from past
Really?
years who've been at
Wow.
every Mile High, but this one because of
Right,
they're
the Olympics.
taking care of Olympians, and they actually took time to record special messages
That's great.
to show to people at Mile High
Oh, that's
about
great.
the impact that
Can't
they're
wait for that.
having
Yeah.
by removing interference of, in the nervous system of Olympians, and how grateful the Olympians are and what a difference they're making. So it's really awesome.
The last
We're
I looked,
excited
we had
about
like
that.
100 medals.
I know, it's amazing.
insane.
That's so.
Right.
So what you're telling me then? There's top level athletes in the world, and they're interested in having chiropractic care for some reason. Is that what's going on?
Imagine
Right.
that.
That's fascinating.
Principal chiropractic.
So two are Dr. Joseph Arve and
Yeah.
Kristen Kells. They've
Sure.
spoken at every
Yeah,
Mile
they're great.
High,
I love 'em.
and they can't be here this year because they're down there. So they
Great.
send us video messages. For
Oh, that's
sure.
exciting.
I also wanted to touch on you got elected to the board of IFCO.
Right.
this year.
I
Yeah,
did.
that's awesome.
I love it.
Congratulations.
I love it.
So can you share with some folks a
Sure.
little bit about that and why it's important to be part of IFCO?
Oh, absolutely. So, I don't think that there's any other organization out there that represents all this that we're talking about. And having the opportunity to go to my first board meeting in January, it was like, being in the Olympics of chiropractic. It was like mastermind sessions and with students, and it was really amazing. And it makes me, being there made me feel hopeful for the future of our profession, and knowing that all these people were on the same team, we're working towards a common goal. And it's great to have those people in that room, but we need all of you out there who are listening to us, if you're not a member of the IFCO, to become, so that we can have an even greater impact in the world and in our
Absolutely,
communities.
yeah.
So.
Certainly. And finally, Frank, are we doing finally right now? Do we-
Finally, yes,
okay.
yeah.
Finally,
Time goes fast here.
Yeah, it goes by very quickly. Finally, I know you both are very big supporters of Sherman College of Chiropractic. Briefly, could you tell me why?
Well, we went there and we fell in love there.
Awesome.
No, it's I have a twin brother who practices in Florida, Randy Large. He is
yes.
also a chiropractor, and he's the reason I went to Sherman.
Wow.
And the education that we got there was just amazing, and having Dr. Edwin Cordero at the helm, it really makes you feel like everything that you knew Sherman to be is what is actually what it is now, is what it was like when we were there. That's what we're seeing, and so it's really exciting to kind of see like a revitalization of Sherman College.
And I'll add something on
Please.
that, because I happen to be a member of the board of trustees of Sherman College.
I thought you were doing something on the other side of the board table there.
and also with the Sherman Connect calls.
Yes.
You invented that.
I did that too. So, but here's what I think. If I want to become a massage therapist, I would go to massage school.
Yeah.
If
That
I want to
makes
become
sense.
a cook, I would go to culinary school. If I want to be an accountant, I'm going to go to accounting school. And if I want to be a chiropractor, I'm going to go to a chiropractic school. So if I'm going to choose a chiropractic school, I'm going to choose the school that has the greatest degree of focus on chiropractic.
Right.
And plain and simple, hands down, in the United States, that's Sherman College.
And we're excited about Dr. Ed Cordero, as you
Yeah.
mentioned. We're going to be interviewing him live here on IFCO television.
Stellar.
A lot of very exciting things. Sherman keeps breaking records. I mean,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
everything. And by the way, Danny, they've done everything that that the people said you couldn't do in chiropractic education, which I always love. You know, I love the underdog, right? You can't do Mile High. You can't do the Berkshires. You can't do. You can't do a chiropractic college that's just focused on chiropractic. It's too simple. You know, you need to have sponsorship from major corporations to include other stuff into chiropractic.
Right.
What we're finding right now is that there is a growing population of people that value the detection, analysis, and correction of vertebral subluxation.
It's a
And
valuable service.
It's a valuable service, and they're
And
gravitating
Right.
towards Sherman College of Chiropractic. So we appreciate your support for that, for IFCO Television, and of course this
Mile
event,
High.
Mile High,
Yeah.
one of my favorites of the year every year.
Hands down.
Thank you guys. We're so
Thank
grateful.
you. And
to
we're
have
grateful
you
for
here.
your support, the
We really
IFCO and
are.
IFCO-TV, all that you do to help Mile High. And we're grateful that you guys are going to be doing this broadcast and be awesome. I'm really excited to hear the next guest. She's awesome. She's one of my favorite
Yeah.
people
One of
in
my
Colorado.
favorite people
Perfect.
too. Rock
you, my
star.
friend.
Thank you,
So-
sir.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yep.
And I still love you, even though you didn't bring canola.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
They wouldn't have lasted.
We'll see you guys at Mile High 5.
See you at Mile High 5.
Mile High 5 to stay alive.